All right, hello and welcome to the Business Accelerator series number 4 with me, Smriti Goswami. I've created these series just so that they can contribute with whatever's going on for most of you, where, you know, when you go through those spaces where you feel you don't have a choice, you feel nothing is working, and if I don't have the money to choose something, then I can't do anything. It's just not having money is also a choice. Let's put it this way. Okay. So this is my way of interacting with you guys whenever we can. These will be either bi-monthly or it'll be once a week. It depends on whenever I can just take out some time to be here with you guys, because this is really, really fun for me. Just interacting with each one of you is really fun for me. And whether or not you choose classes with me, that doesn't matter. I would, of course, love to see you in a few of my classes, but even if you don't, that's also okay. But what contribution can I be here at this moment to you guys? Okay, so let's get started. So there's a message. Sorry, my internet is unstable. Okay, Natasha, no problem. Cool. So before we get started, so today's call is all about, what is the call about? Stuck something. What's the name? Can someone name that call? Okay, so when your head goes into conclusion, what do you do? So let me put this question out to you guys. So what happens when your head goes into conclusion? What shows up for you guys? You can just unmute and speak, whoever wants to speak. Or just put up your hands.
We feel as if there is no moving ahead. Like we cannot move ahead.
Okay, Kavita, so what makes you create that?
What makes me create that is so when I'm making a decision, I want it to be the right decision. I don't go wrong. And, I don't commit something does not create for me.
Okay, and then what happens in the bargain? You end up anyways stopping things.
I anyways end up head tripping.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Who else? Shri?
It's kind of, we are stuck in a loop.
Okay. So tell me what happens when you conclude, and tell me where are you also creating it, and where do you find yourself stuck in that loop or with a conclusion, or where are you finding yourself stuck in your business? This is about business. It's about showing up. So that's what we'll be keeping it to. No, let's not go into relationships and stuff. This is about business here. So yeah, yes, Rajeshwari.
Kind of कि ये business इतना ही बढ़ सकता है या फिर something like that. There's limitations. So you just get that limitation to business.
All right. So sorry, I don't know what's in my throat. So is that what you're getting stuck with, Rajeshwari?
Yeah, kind of. I'm growing to a level and then it just stagnates.
Okay. So you guys can speak in Hindi or English, whatever's convenient for you. It doesn't matter. Okay. So whatever you're comfortable in expressing, you also just go ahead, because we're looking at getting to the gist of it and what exactly is your stuck point. So just language is no power. So yes, Komal, go ahead.
Stuck by finance also.
Okay. What can you elaborate more? What happens?
अभी मटेरियल के लिए पैसा नहीं है, कहीं से अरेंज करना पड़ेगा, कोई शो अप करो, पीपल शो अप करो जो दे पैसा, फिर इधर से आ जाएगा तो उसको दे देंगे, etc.
Okay, cool. Thanks for bringing it up. What else? I will be discussing all of this.
Hi, yes, I am Richa. Yeah, I am Richa.
Hi, Richa.
I whenever concluded that my business, I am a healer, like professional healer. So मेरे पास healing में पैसे नहीं आ रहे, then I will wait for that validation. कि नहीं आ रहे, तो I will wait for it.
You will wait for what? The money to show up?
नहीं आ रहे, नहीं. I wait कि अब healing आएगी ही नहीं. क्योंकि मैंने conclusion कर दिया ना कि वो नहीं आएगी, तो अब नहीं आ रही.
Okay, cool, interesting. Very interesting. So what else? Who else? Where are you guys stuck? Because I will address it all in one go later. Yes, Seema.
Smriti, many a times it happens that I get stuck with the thing that, okay, who is, like first and foremost, it goes like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I conclude everything in my head. The whole thing is done in my head. The business is done in my head. Everything is concluded, and then everything goes for a stop. Everything stops everywhere, and then I'm like, shit, what is this happening? I was expecting this to happen, and this was not happening.
That's usually
so it is like all thing, like the topic itself is talking. Everything is getting stuck, created, and stopped in my head itself, and then it's very frustrating.
Usually what happens is with a humanoid, they usually live the entire business in their own head.
Hello.
And then they, just give me a minute. They live the entire business in their own head, and then they have already lived through it. They've even earned money in their dreams, and then that's it.
Completed the business.
Yes. So
completed it.
Changes,
everything, and then it is frustrating because in reality, it doesn't actualize in this reality.
Right. So what can change here is when you start asking questions. There's a reason why we ask questions. So it's like the reason we are supposed to ask questions is because that opens up so many more possibilities. Just a minute, let me mute everyone whoever's joining right now. So guys, just you can put up your hands so that I can ask you. Just wait for your turn, because otherwise it's too much of a mess. Then nobody will understand anything, and it's not going to be fun like that. So what happens is, the reason we ask questions is because usually when we just have answers ready, it is mostly based on our own conclusions. Okay, so there's a limit to the amount of knowledge that we all have. There's like a limit, there's a boundary, right? So that boundary would contain all the schools, colleges, universities that we've been part of, and all the sources of knowledge via media, via friends, via newspapers or books and whatever, right? So there's a limit to the amount of knowledge we have about anything. Now, when we are looking for answers, what happens is we are looking within our own resources. Okay, we're trying to come to a conclusion, or we are trying to figure out that this is the reason. There's a lot of reasoning that goes on, like a lot of logic we start using, but that logic and reasoning stems only from the amount of knowledge that we have, right? So if we could use reason and logic to sort out our issues, we wouldn't be facing those issues, right? So mostly our issues are our subconscious beliefs, which create those issues for us. So when you start asking the universe a question, when I'm talking about universe, I'm just talking about the higher levels of consciousness that's available in the universe, right? The universe is omnipresent. It's present everywhere. It is not limited by only this limit of knowledge. So when you ask questions, the universe brings you answers in the form of awareness, or in the form of pathways opening up, or in the form of you interacting with someone, which will open up another avenue for you to go ahead with, and so on, right? But what happens with most of us is, oh, this is not working. Maybe I'm so bad, I'm so pathetic, I'm not good enough. That's the reason this is not showing up. Why would anyone bother investing in my business ideas? Maybe they're not good enough. Somebody else is better. But those are all our own self-judgments and our own conclusions about things. And then that is like a full stop for moving ahead. Totally. We just end up stopping ourselves. So what's the value of choosing that? Everything that brought up. Will you just try and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, what, popcorn, and shots, boys and burns. What I just did right now is use the access clearing statement. You can read up more about it on accessclearingstatement.com. So yeah, Seema, ask a lot of questions and see what starts opening up. So I'm just asking all of you, and I will address all your issues right now with whatever content that I have to share with you guys today. Yes, Rishika, go ahead.
Hi, Smriti.
Hi.
So for me, I very much go into my head and I look for that perfect question. Okay. And I self-doubt that what I'm asking, it's too simple. So in that, I lose the essence of even asking the questions. And in the night when I go to sleep, it's like, oh, I could have asked this question. So next day I make another plan. The next day I'm gonna ask these many questions. And then I'm like, again, it's like for me, being aware to ask the questions, it doesn't come.
So,
I'm like
okay,
very much into
hold on. Let me interrupt
perfect.
you here. So,
Yeah.
who do you have to ask these questions from? To?
I just ask them randomly to. It's not intended to anyone in particular, but just
All right. So, why do you wait for the morning to ask questions? Is the universe sleeping? So, in the night, when you get aware that, hey, maybe I could have asked these questions, then just go ahead and ask at that moment. Right? Don't wait for morning to ask the same questions. The universe is not sleeping.
Yeah.
Universe is not sleeping. Universe is very present. So universe is bringing, or it is actually very, it is connected to your vibrations. So the vibration you're being with whatever you're choosing, that's what is being brought. Universe is just mirroring that or bringing that towards you. So be very aware of what you're asking for. Be like, don't have those self-doubts, don't have those self-judgments, because that's all to create. That will just bring you more of that, more reasons to have more doubts. So just know, trust yourself, because that's what will start opening more pathways.
Okay.
What most people do is like, I'd love to choose this class. I'd love to do this particular course, or I would love to go on a particular vacation with my friends, but I can't. I can't because where is the money? So now the focus would be on creating money, right? Instead of just trusting yourself and saying, what will it take for me to have that with ease? Somebody might just gift it to you. Where have you decided that you can only get it via money? Of course, you be willing to pay for it, but sometimes it just shows up because when you want it, like really, really badly want it, you'll be 100% committed to creating it. So the reasons things do not show up is because you're not committed enough to creating it. It's not everything else are just excuses.
Yeah.
Those are actually bullshit excuses, right? Those don't work. So the reason things are not showing up is because you're not 100% committed to creating it. And that's the reason and then of course, it's again a choice to have ease with everything, with even including the creation of money, or create money with a lot of struggle, because somewhere you've decided that you cannot create unless you struggle a lot. Again, it's just a choice, right? So everything that brought up, let's destroy and uncreate it all, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, online shots, boys and girls. I'm just clearing the energy of whatever is bringing up.
I just want to ask one more question, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay, so like when I ask question, is it like once whenever I remember that is the time and just let it be, or do I have to continuously keep asking question? It's very stupid question. I'm sorry.
I would say keep asking till you get it.
Got it. Okay.
Right. Of course, what happens is there are times when we get an energy of, okay, so suppose if I'm looking at buying a house, okay, so now there is so I'm going house hunting, I'm looking at all different places, and I really like certain houses, but they seem to be way beyond my budget, okay, and now I'm like, okay, should I settle for a house that I don't really like that much, or should I just stretch it and make sure I can choose that? Now where will the money show up from? So I would say just choose that house, okay, and then say that's the demand that you're making of yourself. I don't care how it shows up, I'm choosing to buy this house. Okay, that's a demand. So when you're making a demand, it's like I'm willing to be and do whatever it takes to create that house for myself, right? And then the second thing is requesting the universe. So you say, what will it take, universe, for me to create and receive this with total ease? And the third thing is the action required, which is, what do I have to be and do to create and receive this house with total ease? Then you start interacting with the house. I really, really love you. What will it take for you to own me? Because the house owns you. You don't own the house, right? Because the house is there, whereas when you are in the house, you go around working, earning money, to take care of the house, right? So the house
Right.
owns you.
Okay.
So just say, okay, what will it take? What contribution can I be to you? And also, you can talk to the house. So I'm just giving you an example of
Yeah.
the house, but you can also talk to your business accordingly, right? So you can talk to the house and say, okay, would you like to own me? And if yes, would you contribute in creating the money? Now, whatever I'm saying is not linear. There's nothing, if you start looking at the rightness and wrongness of it, it's not going to work like that. But what I'm inviting you to is, when you are looking at creating something, perceive the energy of it, talk to the energy of it. Okay, it doesn't have to show up in a particular way. You don't have to have a tunnel or a box through which something has to show up. You just have to just keep on choosing. It can
Right.
show up from wherever, right? Maybe your dad might say, okay, let me contribute to a part payment of this house. Or maybe you might just get money from somewhere, or your husband might just get bonus or whatever. You never know where it'll show up from, but
Right.
the money will show up. And I've created money so many times like that, till I realized, I was like, okay, I'm not really enjoying the last minute creation of money. Can I just choose to just have money? And then it just started showing up like that. It's just a question of just asking for what you want instead of deciding why you can't choose something. It's just simple as that.
Yeah, got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Smriti.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Pramod.
Yeah, hi Smriti.
Yeah, Natasha,
Natasha.
Just a minute.
Sure.
I'm just taking the questions of, okay, Pramod has written, how does one differentiate between perceiving the creation in the head and completing it in the head? So when you perceive the...
I also have the same question, Sonal.
Yes, Sonal.
Yeah, and I just would like to add here something. कभी-कभी मन में ही मेरा सब कुछ हो जाता है और वो complete भी हो जाता है, and I get the sense of completion also. This happens.
Yes. So somewhere also, Sonal and Pramod, when you decide, so let me just address to what Pramod asked first. So when you perceive the creation in your head, okay, that's cool. So you perceive the creation, you perceive the possibilities available with that. And, there is a expansiveness about that particular idea. Now, when you start operating from conclusions, or you're trying to make it perfect, or you're trying to, create it as something big, but are you congruent with that energy of creating it that big? If you're not congruent, then you're killing it. You're killing the initial stages also of that creation. Okay. Now, one is that, how much is your own conclusion or your own judgments showing up? See, what happens is, like, let's take, for example, when you interact with a client, okay, now you have certain products. You say, suppose there is this product, there's another product, and so on. Now, somebody's come to you to buy that product. So the moment they walk in, and if, say, for example, they're not really very well dressed, in your mind, you've already concluded that then they cannot afford this, right? So how much is your own conclusion already stopping them from choosing what they were actually there to buy? The reason they walked into the store is because they're looking at buying it. Maybe they might not buy it that time, but then they have that in mind and they will choose it, right? But how much are you already pushing them away because of whatever you've concluded? So be very aware of your thought process when you're creating something. Also, secondly, when you're waiting to be perfect before launching that creation, Pramod, then you would kill it again, because every time you're trying to be perfect, you go into self-judgment, because you keep judging yourself that it's not perfect enough. It could be better. I could have added this, I could have added that. So that self-judgment and your judgments, the judgments that you impose on your creations or on your business, is what, again, it's an energy, right? So other people start perceiving that energy of judgment, and then they also start thinking about that creation with the same judgments, right? So in a way, again, you've killed it. So you will not create it only. Does that answer your question, Pramod? And not that I was looking at answering, I was just inviting you to an awareness from where you can start creating.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, Sonal, just a minute. Yeah. What were you saying, Sonal? Can you add more?
Yeah. Actually, because I go into conclusion, no? And you know what, Smriti? Sometimes I go, like when I see foreign destinations like Europe, so instead of choosing to go there, I do head tripping, I go energetically and come back. ऐसे करती हूँ मैं. Instead of choosing really to go there, they will contribute.
Because Sonal, somewhere you've already decided that or concluded that I will never be able to go there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Or I can never ever create as much money to just go on a vacation like that. So it is all in your head, right?
Yes.
What, you know how earlier air travel used to be such a big thing, and now it's not a big deal at all, right? It's just something like that. It's what I'm inviting you guys to is, if you like something, if there is an energy of something that you'd like to invite in your world, right? Just go for it. Don't look at all the rest of the things and the reasons and justifications to why you can't create, because all those are just bullshit stories that, or excuses that you keep giving yourself, all of you, right? You want something, just go create and out create. Just keep choosing. And just know that the moment you start choosing something is when things start showing up. So many times people create like that, right? So many times. In fact, even if you look at you have so many examples. Even if you look at Steve Jobs, right? He was kicked out of his own company, the company that he had created. He was kicked out of it. He joined another company, and then that company bought over his company, his previous company, Apple. And then again, he was part of Apple, right? So even if people reject you, even if people sideline you, even if people put you down, okay, that doesn't make you that. If people are judging you, you are not what they're judging you to be. What are you aware of? Focus on that, right? Go with your own awareness, because that's what will create so much more. All right. What does outcreate mean? Komal, go ahead. Tell me, what does it mean to outcreate? You've asked that question. Go ahead, ask. Tell me, what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
Don't have any idea what it outcreates. I'm not getting that word.
You're not getting the word?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Outcreate means you'll take whatever energy you have and go forth and create something way bigger. So when you have people pulling you down, saying nonsense about you, that's the time you're supposed to turn it up even more, be even more of what you are, turn it up even more, and just go ahead and create something so big that you leave them so far behind that their opinions don't matter to you anymore.
Okay.
Right? So yes, that's the energy you have to be. You don't have to, just because somebody is judging you, just because somebody is pulling you down, doesn't mean you are that, right? People will pull you down because of the potency that they perceive in your space. They know you're really good, and then if they're able to pull you down, then it makes them feel better about themselves. It's not that it's nothing personal, right? It's just that you are an easily available target. That's it. So just know that.
Need to hear, turn it around and expand.
Turn it up.
Okay.
Turn up your potency, turn up your creative capacities, just turn it up even more. Because what happens when someone judges us? We just shut ourselves down. We just go and hide, and we make sure that, when we walk into the room, we are in one corner, because, if you're being too much, then people will not like it. So then they'll sort of say a nasty comment, pass a nasty comment, or they'll just say something. So that's not what you want ever to face. So you'll just be in one corner, not being too much. So what happens is we tend to just sort of shrink and just sort of fit in with everyone, merge in, so that nobody can ever notice us. So that's what happens. Okay. Why we do that? Because we can perceive everyone's judgments. And sometimes you're doing that and you're not sure why you're doing that. Okay, so what if you could actually just walk into the room and own it? What if you could, the moment you walk into the room, you could just turn heads? What would that create? You know, when Gary and Dane walk into the room, like when we go to Rome and when we go for our CF classes and all, and there are like about 400 to 500 people there. And usually we're sitting right ahead and they walk in from little behind, okay, from some other door. But even if I haven't turned my head, I already know that they walked into the room. So are you willing to have that kind of presence? Whether a person can see you or not, they still are able to perceive your presence. Are you willing to own everything that you are to that much of a capacity?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything that doesn't allow that, let's destroy and uncreate it all, right, wrong, good, bad, what for, online shots, boys and beyonds. So there's
Wow,
a right,
Smriti.
there's a right voice for you class coming up. I think it's from 18th to 20th of December. Do choose in case you'd like, in case it's calling out to you guys, because that class opened up so many avenues for me, and that actually it's like making your presence felt in the world, whether you have a business or not, whether you're working or not, it doesn't matter. It's about owning everything that you are and you're being willing to be seen. You know, your voice matters and your presence matters. Are you willing to show up in the world with whatever you are? That's what that particular class is for. So in case anyone chooses, that's one class, a very interesting class to go for. Yes, who else had a question? Vidima.
Yeah, Smriti.
Yeah, Natasha, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, means I like, yeah, no, you say choose, but sometimes you're choosing, you're being the energy, but I feel like, and I can see shifts happening, but sometimes when you want something big, it doesn't happen.
You know what happened? Okay, what's your question here?
So I'm choosing it, then why is it not happening?
See, why is not a question, because why will keep you looping into the same thing again and again? Why is you trying to understand something and that doesn't create, right? What other question can you ask here?
What else is possible?
What other question can you ask?
What do I have to be and do to achieve this?
Right. Where is the demand? Where is the commitment to create it? Right. So if you are demanding for something to show up, you're looking at creating something, and if it is not showing up, ask, make that demand, be committed to it. Request the universe for the contribution. I just explained all the processes, right? And what do I have to be and do to create it? And also acknowledge what we are creating already.
Yeah.
Where are you sidelining all that you've already created? Right? Acknowledge that, have a lot of gratitude for that, and then just be that demand. So if things are not showing up, it's because you're not committed enough. Mostly. Okay? Because you're not willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Also, what happens is when we keep on head tripping, you know, actually most people realize after attending so many access classes and then struggling so much and then still choosing classes and then still choosing to struggle, and then one fine day you'll get it when you get it, it's just that, you know, that demand. You know, you have the power to create whatever it is that you desire. It's that trust in yourself, the faith in yourself, which will move mountains. Okay, so end of the day, it's up to you guys whether you want to attend so many classes and then come to that conclusion, or then create something, or still struggle with it, or just be willing to ask for ease and create all that you desire, right? So I would say when you're choosing classes, don't choose them because you're struggling with something. Choose to keep on out-creating yourself. Use the tools to keep on choosing something to go beyond, way beyond. Don't have to be struggling with that same issue again and again. What next? What else? What next? that's the way. Just keep moving forward. And then, a few years down the line, you'll realize that you're no longer the same person that you thought you were.
Yeah, that I'm sure.
Most of us create ourselves based on other people's judgments about us or what they've decided. And the reason they decide that about us is because somewhere we only put forward a very limited version of us, right? So then they think that that's what we are all about. But there's so much more to us, which we choose to keep hidden because, what if you're judged? So what energy, space, and consciousness can each one of you be to turn it up in the face of judgment and outcreate everyone with total ease? Everything that brought up times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, for financial spoils and yours.
Cool. When you said turn it up, I felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because that's you choosing to open yourself up to so many people's judgments. And it's so how many of you actually create in your comfort zone? When you're looking to choosing something really, really big, are you willing to create out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to go beyond your comfort zone? Are you willing to just leap off the cliff? Not like literally, but yes, literally. Are you willing to leap off the cliff and just choose something way beyond? That's what starts opening up spaces like anything else. So every time you leap, so here's what, let me just go ahead and do that with you guys. So in your mind's eye, imagine yourself, okay, hold on. I won't do that right now. Whenever you choose some class with me, it'll be done there. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, Rishika, you had a question.
Yes, Shruti. So on the same similar note, yes, I am choosing, and I choose things very not badly, but yeah, I just for example, I chose my job. And for that, I was willing to do anything. So I shifted to Gandhinagar alone. I left my kids in Mumbai with my family. So I worked. The thing is, when it comes to money, somehow all aspects of my life are working. I got my new house using the tools, asking questions. I got my job after a gap of 7 years. But when it comes to money, that doesn't come, the flow, that ease with money and that cash flowing is not there. And
because maybe if you have ease with money, then and ease with that cash flow, then what if you become too much? What if you become unstoppable? That won't go down well with people, right? So you have to tone yourself down and limit, because see, that's the only thing that's stopping you. So why would you create and maintain that? And what do you love about that?
Okay.
We will create issues around money just to stop ourselves. Okay. When you can use the tools and ask questions and create whatever else that you like, where are you not willing to use the same tools for creation of money?
Okay. I think the past, I wanted to do the foundation. I chose and somehow I got the money. I took loan from my brother. And the thing is, I still need to pay him back. And other classes are on hold. I want to choose many classes, which I really want to do it, but it keeps coming back. No, I still have to pay my brother back around 1 lakh. So let me do that first. Let me get the cash. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
So again, if you haven't read the book, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, at least buy that book and read that. There are a lot of tools in that to actually overcome especially when you're in any sort of debt, how to start creating. Of course, there's also a class in case you'd like to choose, because what is in the book and the class, of course, has a whole lot more. There's also a manual. Whenever you are willing to choose, you can go ahead with that. But it is, again, just a choice, right? So what's stopping you from setting aside a certain amount? What happens is we'll wait to create that 1 lakh before we can pay.
Yes.
Right? What if you just keep a separate envelope or a box and just keep every month start keeping aside money, certain amount, wherever you can. Of course, also the reason money is not showing up is somewhere you have to be committed enough to repay the debt also, not by making it a be all and end all. Don't make it like a big
Got it.
yeah, big white elephant. You don't have to see it like that. Just say, okay, well, how much fun can we have? How much fun can I have paying off the money?
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, Rupal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Smriti.
Hi,
You're
Smriti.
welcome. Yes. Hi, Rupal. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Looking
Good.
beautiful today, as usual.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Smriti, I wanted to ask you actually about my father. It's been on my mind. I don't know because, I've given him some tools and stuff in Access, which he doesn't seem to really, he doesn't kind of tend to practice that and stuff. And I've been doing kind of fracking for him and sending him contributions, but I don't know what to do because he's in a constant loop of debt and credit, of borrowing and lending with high interest rates for many years. The pattern is not breaking. Is there, I know it's obviously for each person's choice to be in that situation and not, but is there anything I can do to change this situation for him?
Yes, since you're already giving him the tools, what energy, you can just keep saying this clearing, which might contribute. What energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to be the space for him to overcome or outcreate those debts with total ease? Right? Now, hold on. What energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be for him to be the space to sort out his debts or outcreate his debts with total ease, or to pay off his debts with total ease? Now, sometimes you cannot choose for people, right? They have to choose it for themselves. So you can just hold the space for them, for him to choose greater. So maybe you can actually, the clearing that you can do is, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be for my father to choose greater for himself and more ease for himself, whichever way he chooses for it to show up. Because when you're asking for the debt to be cleared, somewhere there's a vested interest in it, and that might not contribute that dynamically. Right? And maybe you can leave the book Getting Out of Debt Joyfully just around somewhere. He might just decide to read it. And sometimes when people tell you something, then you don't really go ahead with it.
Yeah, exactly.
When you choose it yourself, then you choose to use the tools also.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
So the last clearing, Smriti, that you said that, that helps him how you can contribute to him.
Yeah. So, like with anyone, say, suppose your kids are not studying, like whoever's kids, or some family members not choosing greater for themselves, or you know their potency, you know their potential, and you know that they should be choosing more, but they're not. Just ask, okay, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to hold the space, or to be the space for them to choose greater with total ease? And then pock and board, whatever comes up, right? Because that is you choosing to hold the space for them without any conclusion, without anything, just that space of ease, right? So then they will automatically start choosing more for themselves. Of course, there are lots of tools and access that you can start using for more, to get them actually to move. There are energy pools, there are a whole lot of other things, but this really works. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Now, okay, what else? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, Rupal, you still have a question or your hand is up?
No, I'll just put it down, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I did that already. All right, so when you go into conclusion, okay, especially when your head goes into conclusion, what you do? First of all, take a breath and just stop, okay? And remember that you are thinking. So the reason you're going into conclusion is because you're head tripping now. You're thinking too much about that issue, okay? And that's the reason you're just going to all sorts of weird conclusions and stopping everything from working for you, okay? And also acknowledge that thinking is how much thinking is decaying your life? Is it creating your life or is it decaying your life? Ask yourself this question. So when all this head tripping that I'm doing, everywhere I'm thinking constantly about certain things, everywhere I'm getting worked up about certain things, is this thinking creating my life or decaying my life? And you'll get an awareness of what exactly you're choosing. Okay. And literally make it a choice to just stop it. Stop that conclusion. Stop those conclusions. Stop that thinking voice in your head all the time, right? Actually, what will it take to have no mind, where you don't just constantly keep head tripping? What if you were willing to just follow your awareness, that perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving? What if you were willing to create from that space instead of thinking constantly, right? And also ask yourself, so what do I know here? What am I aware of? And what can I do with this awareness? Or how can I put my awareness to better use? Or what awareness can I create this from? You can just ask questions like this. Okay, so usually just know thinking is a thing that you use to act like you can't, or you pretend that you can't, right? You just keep head tripping, keep on thinking constantly to stop you, because those are now bullshit stories that you're just telling yourself in your mind again and again constantly. And that does not really create anything. Nothing comes out of that, right? So as I mentioned earlier, right, the mind can only tell you what you've learned before. Okay. And how many of us actually have a whole shitload of judgments programmed about why we can't create things, right? How, when maybe we did not, suppose we flunked in maths, so now everybody will think you're so bad in maths, and somewhere we'll also go on to prove to them that how bad we are in that subject maths. But so truth, what are you aware of? What does the subject mean to you? What is the resistance? Sometimes when you have the greatest potency with is what you resist, right? So when you resist showing up, how much would showing up contribute to other people in the world? You choosing to show up will contribute to so many other people, so you all have these gifts and abilities. Also, like most of your healers here, you have these healing capacities, but if you choose to keep yourself hidden, who will know about you, right? And what gift would that be to others? What's the value of hiding the gift of you? So be aware of that. Okay. Get out of normal and get out of being comfortable, because beyond the comfort zone is when we create the maximum change in every aspect. Okay. And as I mentioned, that make that demand of yourself. I don't care how it shows up. I'm choosing this. What do I have to be and do to create it? Show me, universe, what else is possible? When you just keep on asking questions and have that demand and that commitment to creating it, is when things will happen, right? And I would say do not give up even till the nth hour, because sometimes you end up creating things at the last minute. So yeah. Also, with everything that's showing up, ask, is this adding to my life? So does this add to my awareness or subtract from it? Okay, because what if you could actually choose to create from more awareness? What would that create for you? Also, we tend to surround ourselves with people who might not really be our well-wishers. So what will it take for you to have people, or surround yourself with people who actually truly have your back, who would really love to see you grow? Ask for such contributor people to show up, because what happens is we'll just keep struggling with certain friends, with certain family members who will just all the time constantly, they're like our self-imposed eternal jailers who will just keep on hiring time and again to just keep limiting us, stopping us. What if we could actually ask for more contributive people to start showing up? All you have to do is just ask for them, right? It's literally as simple as that. They will start showing up. Okay. And also acknowledge how much your life has already changed with the tools that you've been using. So when you start acknowledging the level of changes you've already created, when you have gratitude for all that you've already created, instead of going into lack, then you start opening up more possibilities of more things showing up for you. Okay. So also a lot of us will stop, say, money or other things showing up or ease showing up because somewhere we feel we don't deserve it. But whose points of view are those? Do you really not deserve anything, or someone has imposed or implanted those points of view to you? Or how much are you judging yourself about that, right? So when the moment you start acknowledging that you deserve every bit of happiness, every bit of money or whatever else that you desire, you deserve it, is when things will start opening up much more dynamically. So like right now, if I ask you to take a deep breath in, so let's do that. So take a deep breath in, each one of you, and just release. Okay, take another deep, deep, deep breath in and release. Now, my question to you all is, how many of you took only a little breath in because you felt that you don't deserve to breathe deeply, or you don't deserve that much amount of oxygen in your body? How many of you did that? None of you, right? You just took a deep breath in without any point of view, right? So where would you limit the amount of money showing up because somewhere you've decided you don't deserve it? Just be willing to create. Be willing to be that energy of money, because that's what will open up so much more possibilities. Okay. So, okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Someone had raised their hand, I think. Usha, go ahead, Usha.
Yeah, just now you were saying about be the space, like what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I to
be.
Be that, even though we can do for our children, right? I mean,
yeah, you can do it for your kids also. So if you think your kids are not choosing or being or doing what you know they're capable of doing and creating, then you can just say, okay, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to be the space for my kids to choose greater for themselves with total ease? Yeah, so you can just do that. That'll really open up spaces. That doesn't mean that you say the clearing right now and tomorrow they'll just jump and start acting on it. You just have to have patience and not being vested in the outcome. When you're saying that, you don't have to have that in your mind that this is what you need to create. No being vested in the outcome, just holding the space for them will start opening up so many more possibilities for them.
Smriti, sorry for interrupting. I want to understand this thing of holding the space. It's a new thing for me. So this clearing that you just said, that what energy,
you
space,
be the
consciousness.
energy. You be the energy of whatever it is, whatever that is required at that moment for them to choose more.
Okay. So what energy, space, consciousness can me and my body be to hold the space for my kids?
To be the space for them to choose greater. So here's what you do, Ridhima. When you are choosing more for yourself, you're already inviting them to choose more. Do you get it? When you're choosing to be unstoppable, then you're pulling them along or you're taking them along. So as you choose to be more of you, they will choose to be more of themselves too. When you're choosing greater for yourself, you're inviting your kids to choose and your entire family to choose greater for themselves too.
True.
That's you holding space for them.
True.
Right? That's you being an invitation for them to choose more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So just know, if you do not get up and create your life, this reality will. Okay? Others will create for you, or this reality will create for you. So you have to keep choosing all the time. Be that demand. I don't care how it shows up. I'm going to choose more. I want to be more. I'm going to choose greater for myself. Okay? No more conclusions. Conclusions are mostly just head tripping, thinking too much, thinking yourself out of possibilities. That's what conclusions are. And that does not really create Okay, so just be very present to that. Ask, okay, what would I like to create today? Okay, if I were to have my own reality, or if I'm going to have my reality, what would I create? If I had to create my own reality from the space of possibilities, what can I choose? Okay, what choices can I make today that my future self will thank me for? And just start tapping into the whispers of whatever is showing up. There is an energy that shows up, and then just keep choosing based on that. Okay, if someone is judging you, just instead of choosing to be the effect of those judgments, just turn it up even more. They're anyways judging you to be that, right? You turn it up even more, right? When you're willing to be that energy is when you'll create more. Suppose somebody is judging you to be bad. Okay, they're already judging you. In their mind, you're already bad. So when you're willing to be that energy, that doesn't mean you become bad, but you have to be willing to be that energy, because if you're resisting and reacting and aligning and agreeing, it will not create, right? Turn it up even more. Turn up what you know is possible with you and for you, right? So that's what, like, for example, if someone, suppose a mother is choosing way beyond, or she's choosing some greater possibilities for herself, right? And if the family members would stop her and say, you're such a bad mother, you're neglecting your kids, or you're not giving them enough attention, even though you're doing whatever you can, but they will just catch on to that because you're not there with them 24/7. So they will latch on to that particular point, and I don't know who needed to hear this, but it's just showing up. So they will latch on to that point and say, you're not a good mother, right? So when you say, okay, cool, yes, I am, if you're willing to be a bad mother, if you're saying, okay, it's fine, you're judging me to be a bad mother, cool, I am a bad mother. Now let's move on. They will stop saying that to you. They will, because what you're doing is you're not choosing to be the effect of those judgments. You will let them say whatever they're saying, but you'll keep choosing. You will not stop yourself for anyone, right? That's what it is. You're welcome, Anjana. Okay. So what exactly is potency? Can someone tell me what exactly is potency?
Our capacity.
Capacity. What else?
Smriti, please, you say everything. You're just...
No, I want you to tell me what is potency.
I don't know whether it's
the lightness of you is the potency.
But you're a cracker today, Smriti.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Pramod, what were you saying?
The lightness of you is your true potency.
Okay. Who else?
Acknowledging your creations and being you.
Okay, cool. So anyone else wants to add to it?
Yeah, potency is just being you.
Actually, what I see, potency is who you are. You are everything, nothing, and you need to break open the ground and bring that forth.
All right, awesome.
Which exists clearly with you, and you haven't accessed it.
Awesome. What else?
I think
Who
potency
else?
means your strength, and its potency is what is your strength and your power.
Okay. Who else?
Energy we have.
Okay. Potency is who you truly are, and you accept the whole of you, the complete being.
Okay, awesome. And someone has written messages
Yes,
also. Hold on.
Energy within us that we have not acknowledging.
Okay.
The power,
awesome.
energy.
And Ashutosh has written, it is a capability, it's a potential, it's the best version of you. Cool. So, okay, let me just mute everyone. Hold on. Okay, I would say potency is vulnerability without giving up you in front of the world, where you're willing to be vulnerable, where you're willing to acknowledge yourself, but you're not willing to give up yourself in front of the world. Okay. Vulnerability without giving up you in front of the world is what is potency, which will start opening up so much more spaces. Okay. When you're vulnerable, you're willing to acknowledge yourself, whether things are good, whether things are bad, you will say, okay, you will own everything that you are, right? You will not discard bits and pieces of you in favor of other people's judgments. You'll own everything that you are, yet you'll be vulnerable without giving yourself up in front of the world. Okay. And also know when people see you, when they meet you, they already acknowledge your potency. Okay. They've already seen the potency in you. And it actually suits them to see you choosing to be a limited version of you, right? Because it makes them feel good about themselves. Because it invites them not to be too much, right? So when you, each one of you, own your potency, when you're actually literally potency walking, imagine the invitation you would be for others also to choose so much more. Okay. So what potency does each one of you have, or what capacities does each one of you have with the creation of your business, of your life, of your relationships, and of your body, with your body? Everything that doesn't allow each one of you to know, be, perceive, and receive that with total ease. Let's destroy and uncreate that, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, what, POC, online shots, boys, and beyonds. Cool. So thank you so much, everyone. This was a good call. I mean, I enjoyed it. So I'll keep interacting with you guys as and when I can. And in case you'd like to have the recordings of this, if you could sign up, I'm not sure. The place where you found the link to join, that has a, there's a link there to sign up for the calls, to receive the calls. All right, so I will send out the calls maybe in a couple of days, and you'll also have access to the previous calls that I've done. The Business Accelerator series are really, really contributive for your business. There's so much more that you can actually receive from them. And in case you'd like to choose more classes, there is a beautiful, actually it's my invitation to all of you. Adi Singh is from Chandigarh, and he's coming here. He's a 3-day body class facilitator, and we are planning a like one of the biggest body classes in Mumbai. Just ask your bodies if they'd like to be there for that class. Okay, it's from 7th to 9th of January. My body's already buzzing with more possibilities here. The venue is beautiful. You just see the entire Powai Lake from there. It is just such an expansive, beautiful venue. Just join in, guys. 7th to 9th of January. Enough time for you guys to actually create money for that. And those of you who would like to create a stronger presence in the world, there is a Right Voice for You class coming up on 18th to 20th of December. And of course, there's a Business Done Different in a very beautiful retreat near Pune from 14th to 17th. So just connect with me or any of my hosts for these classes. There's also a Talk to the Entity class, which just might be online now from 10th to 12th of December. So join in. It was supposed to be in Hyderabad, but it's also available online. So just choose, guys. The possibilities are endless. And oh yes, I have a business mentorship series, which is me being present with you every week. It is really, really, really an amazing mentorship series. So choose that. Maybe I'll create a call for that later.
Smriti, you have any?
What?
YouTube channel you have?
I have a YouTube channel.
Oh.
I'll see if I can send a link.
Yeah, please.
I'll
because
send.
YouTube channel has this possibility of downloading it, and can be like, we can watch it anytime at night also. So
yeah, I will see if I can send the link to my YouTube channel. Not all calls are uploaded there. And those of you who are interested in the 3-day body class, which is coming up, we have a Zoom tomorrow at 7:30. So I'll forward the link also so that you can just join in. He's brilliant. He's amazing. And it's also one of the prereqs for renewing your BARS facilitator's license. So just choose that. Of course, so is the business and different class. So just choose whatever is showing up for you, whatever is fun for you. You need to have done a foundation to attend the 3-day body class. Join us for the Zoom tomorrow and see what shows up. This class is really going to be amazing. I mean, I can already perceive the expansiveness of it. The space, the first thing that the class chose was the space. And that space is huge. It's like really, really huge. So yeah, what else is possible? What will it take for more than 100 bodies to be there?
Smriti, yes. I'm not available tomorrow. Will it be possible to send the recording of tomorrow's session?
So you have to register for that call, tomorrow's call, and then they will send you the recording. I will send the link out in my groups today, and yeah. So Shri, you will get just a minute. Shri, you will get the recordings when if you have signed up. Wherever you saw the link to join this, there is a link for the recordings also that you can sign up for. Yes, here is the link to register. Ujjwal, you can maybe choose that. Yes, Tapasha, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying I had registered earlier for your call, but I've not got the recording.
Okay, check the spam. I've sent out the recordings. Check the spam. Okay, just type in my name, Smriti Goswami. It'll show up. Yeah, just search your mails because I sent out a few days ago. So it usually goes to spam. So you'll have to do whatever
also,
it is.
Smriti, I think with your name, it didn't come up. I think if you look at it from using business or accelerator, that's where it's showing up.
Okay, so just type in business accelerator and it'll show up, and then do whatever it takes to make sure that it comes in your main mail. I don't know how you do that, but whatever is required. All right, thank you so much, guys. And I will see you soon.
Thank you so much, Smriti.
You're welcome. I do have a call also tomorrow, so in case you'd like to join in for that.
Bye. See you tomorrow, Smriti. Thank you.
Thank you, Smriti.